This episode is mainly focusing on seats. Are you sitting comfortably? The way I see it is I've got three options. I either try and find some seat that really won't work, like that BMW one, or I create something totally custom, which is going to be a total pain in the arse, or I chop and shut, cut and shut, that's the word I'm looking for. And yes, we're back on the seat again. I'm just examining, so these structures that come off the bottom of the seat, they're only plastic, but they sit on the frame here. And then I'm guessing I'm going to mount it here using that and that, which was for that oil dump and everything else that was slung under the back seat, but I shall be using it to mount my new back seat, which I am going to try and fabricate with metal and fiberglass and papier-mâché and all sorts of things. But not building foam, because that doesn't work, right? Funny, I was looking at videos today on how to make seats and things, and one of the guys was using that bloody building foam to actually mould a body panel on an Audi. Well, that's why I don't like Audis. Another guy in Asia was actually using a chopping board as the base for his seat. A plastic chopping board, which actually is not a bad idea. If one goes missing in the household, we'll all know why. But don't tell the missus. Anyway, I stand corrected because these go under that part in the frame. So they go under there. And then these sit on the frame, which is about the point I'd cut it. And I'm actually favouring cutting and shutting the seat, including the foam, because, I don't know, I'll just move this section forward, get it recovered by someone who knows what they're doing, i.e. not me. Plan C begins with removing all these staples. Whilst I admire his attitude to getting the job done correctly, I think Mario was a little over enthusiastic with the staples. Tedious process of removing all staples individually by hand has been completed. Not even worthy of a time-lapse video. One seat ready for a chop, and one cover, original Ducati, shortly available on eBay. As we've already established, my bony arse is about 8.5 inches from front to back. Is that how it works? So that's your 8-inch cut. Then I think this is going to be the cut at the back. So I've moved the cut forward an inch because we've got plenty here, and basically taking 3 inches out of that front area of the seat, because that's supposed to be for the pillion, but there ain't going to be one. So apparently the best way to do this is with a hot wire through the foam, which involves strapping a bit of wire in between two battery terminals. Sounds dangerous to me. Alternatively, a bread knife. Obviously that bit lifts off nice and easy, just glued on, and I'm left with the base. Oh, I like this idea more and more all the time. That's where we're going to cut it. And actually this line's kind of irrelevant because that's going to be a curve up this way to match that. That'll be a custom piece. I think I have just the stuff in here. Yes, we've seen it before, and it'll be happening again. I like that stuff. It's cool. So, kiss goodbye to 150 bucks worth of seat. Measure twice, cut once. So yeah, so that was the second cut. This is the bit that is basically coming out in the seat. And that's kind of convenient, because look at that. There's that curve, which would support that curve, or that curve actually, So I might cut and shut that over here to some degree, maybe just that center section. So that hatch section is going to be cut something like this. I'll try and do it on Photoshop and maneuver up there to provide that lift and potentially a mounting point for my backlight idea. All will be revealed at some point. Clearly I need a smaller pen or a smaller vocabulary. Looking at this square on, it makes sense to move everything forward cut-wise because it's kind of level 2 inches ahead of where I've marked it at the front and at the back as well, to try and marry the foam up. Exciting, making my first custom seat. How about that? And then maybe something like that just to strengthen it all up if it needs it. A few nice bits and pieces turned up today. This is one of those switches. Kind of bigger than I thought it was going to be, honestly. But we'll see how that fits on the handlebars. And then these indicators, which are actually designed for the front to clip under the handlebar there. So that's quite a nice option. Although I have actually ordered some of those ones that actually go in the end of the handlebars, which I might or might not use. If I do, then these boys could go on the back here, and they're nice and discreet. There's a mount either side for them, which the side panel fits onto, so they'd fit on there quite nicely, and they look pretty cool. I could even mount them inboard somewhere. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, I like those, really nice. Yeah, I like those. Obviously they'll replace the one on the current one. But yeah, I like those. They're kind of big though. Bigger than I thought they were going to be. Did I say that already? And actually this is for the other side, although I might have screwed up there as well, because I think they're both 2 on-off switches, i.e. permanent. Yeah. So I don't really want that for the starter button. So I need one momentary and one lockable. So I could use these for the indicators, or not. Also got my friction tape, not quite so as exciting, but it's a nicer finish to those, the wiring, just to seal that down. Having messed around on Photoshop with this, I'm thinking that I might need this bit still. So I have to cut down here, carefully round there. Then this bit will slot under this bit, and this bit will come parallel with this bit. Maybe. Better leave it on there to start with at least. Oh, I think I'm going to start with this, because that should be easier to cut. And I'm going to go the bread knife route. I'm going to practice on this end because I don't need that. See what happens. 1 car battery, 1 bread knife. Perhaps I should try a combination of the 2 and plug this in. Only joking. Alright, let's give this a go. One slice or 2, sir. Seems to be doing okay, actually. So I cut it close to the line that I want, just because you never know, I might use that end piece at some point. Yeah, it works. Looks like a nice cheese there, doesn't it? A Gouda. Yep. Gouda or maybe Madeira cake. Anyway, that worked. Relatively clean cut. Better than my shave last time anyway. And there we have it. Well, at least in its initial state. So this was a good bet. That's about the same. But obviously that needs some kind of sanding. Ooh, I know what I could use. I have something that might do the trick. Or I might actually do some more Googling, YouTubing, and find out what other people use. And then obviously I've got to come back to this and shape that. Although that's going to require some kind of back plate to it. This is all going too swimmingly. Something's going to go wrong sooner or later. There you go. Just need a plate to do that. But obviously got to get it covered first. Although I kind of like that dirty gold. Maybe I'll do a gold seat, but not shiny gold. Well, it ain't pretty, but it's coming on. I even have my own little Venturi at the back. Yeah, so that's kind of works, right? I'm not so bloody stupid after all. Some of those measurements were out pre-cut. That's definitely not square. That. Anyway, luckily we got enough to compensate there in terms of angling that and everything else to join in. And we've also got like, I don't know, maybe 10 mil at the back there to play around with, and we can always cut that shorter anyway. So at this point what I'm going to do is make the base so that I'm happy with the base, and then I'm going to take the whole shooting match to my upholsterer man in Cottonwood, Joe, and give him the problem, because he's going to have to do the leather work or whatever it is. I think Alcantara. I like Alcantara. Anyway, I'm no seamstress. My grandmother was, but me, not so much. So seeing as we've mullered that, we might as well muller this. Time for chop number 2. Don't care how you voted, it's coming off. Okay. Get a little wiggle. That's more like it. That's proper. Yeah, so that's what it's gonna kind of look like. Kinda. Or more precisely, that's what it's gonna look like. That's cool, isn't it? Yeah, like that. What a great bloody idea, even if I do say so myself. And there's that all bolted up. So we are ready to go to Joe. He's the upholstery guy. Do keep up. I can't exactly remember what my backlight idea measured. I think it might have been 6 inches, in which case we're just shit out of luck. But, or not, as the case may be. So, yeah, I think that little Venturi is going to actually be quite good for that little idea I have, or will be revealed. So because I mounted that to the top of that, i.e. it was all level before, we're going to need a little extra spacer in there. In where? In there. There you go, there. Because that's supposed to sit on the frame, and of course it isn't. So yeah, it needs like 1/2 inch. It might all need a little bit of a trim up, but I think we can do that. This bit needs some tidying up, and the beauty with the Augusta was that essentially this section here unbolted. There were bolts here that held it in. So I could take it to my buddy Adam to finish it off nicely. So I've either got to take the bike to him, which I don't really want to do, or I've got to do it myself. It's going to be a bit of grinding, a bit of filling, a bit of paint, and some kind of contraption between those two posts. And I have a feeling it's going to be something like this. Because the backlight idea is just the backlight, the running light, and I'm going to need some brake lights. So like on the Augusta, I'm going to do them two separate lights. That just looks so mean with that back wheel sitting out there. Love it. And there's the back of the seat. No, I didn't use the bread knife to cut that. I used my tin snips as usual. Yeah, just messing around with this, and interestingly this is kind of bent up with the bend, because what I've done is split it. I'll show you in a minute. That's bent up with the bend, which would actually follow that curve that I marked that I was thinking of cutting, but I didn't cut it yet just because I wasn't sure how I was going to mount this, the metal. So over here it hasn't, and it's then fouling on that. But actually I think if it follows the curve to some degree, that will work. So if I take this off, you can't see what's happening underneath. Something like that, right? That's what was going on. Yeah, so obviously I can mount it. Copious holes to put screws and bolts and nuts and things. Leaning towards the idea of this similar curve to marry up with that curve that I've drawn there, and indeed the one underneath. Roughly something like that, where those curves don't quite bend as much as that does because it has to mount. Focus, thank you. But yeah, you get the idea. A subtle curve all the way along. Starting to shape up my cheese slice, and I even have a little Pernod to go with it because it's hot. Pernod is very refreshing. Also very addictive, apparently. Aniseed. As my grandma told me, she was pouring me my first glass of Pernod at the age of I don't know, 6. And there we have it, roughly. I'm going to be finishing the metal bit off later once I get the seat back, and that's all covered, and I know exactly what shape it is and what angles everything need to be, because that's clearly not the right angle. But yeah, I think we have achieved a fairly cool looking seat there. The exhaust is back in place, and actually it was surprisingly easy. I thought it was going to be a real bastard, but I was right. I put this one on first, slotted that one on first, wiggled it around up and down a little bit to get the angle right up the front end, and yeah, it just kind of slipped in, honestly. So that's tightened up there, not overly tight, just tight enough. And likewise at the back. So we're ready to receive the silencers that we've bought. The guy's convinced they're going to fit. I'm not. We'll see. And on that exhausting note, I think that'll just about do it for this episode. So the seat will be packed off, maybe to Joe, or maybe to a friend of Derek's who also does upholstery, so we shall see. And I need to oil this chair before next time. So, thanks for watching. Do subscribe, do invite others to watch my lunacy.